Hello everyone and welcome to This Day. Today is Thursday, October 12th, and I'm Bobby Higgins. Coming up on This Day, we have the GRF update with President Bunny Carpenter and Treasurer Jim Hopkins. Did I just say treasurer? Yep, I did. That means we are going to be talking finances. Bunny and Jim will go over the 2024 budget, the GRF portfolio update, and a whole lot more, so stay with us for that. And that brings us to today's Stay Informed. United Town Hall meeting is tomorrow, Friday, October 13th. The meeting starts at 2 p.m. in the Performing Arts Center, Clubhouse 3. Come learn about the new lodger policy. And we have a special treat for you here on This Day. We have a special ticket giveaway from the Coach House to come see Pat Boone in concert on Saturday, October 21st. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are for the concert only, but you can also make reservations for dinner as well. The first to contact us here at This Day will receive the tickets. There are 10 tickets total. You can select 2, 4, or all 10 if you like. If you're interested, please email us at thisdaymorningshow@gmail.com. And now taking a look at the weather, it's so nice to see clear skies this morning. Today will be nice and mostly sunny with a high of 77 and a low of 55. Clouds will return tonight though, and we'll probably see some drizzle again in the morning tomorrow on Friday, but it will clear off to partly sunny for the day. Going into the weekend, temperatures will bump up a little bit. We'll have a high of 80 on Saturday and a low of 57. Also coming up Saturday, there is a solar eclipse happening. If the fog and clouds clear in time, you should be able to see it in the morning from about 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And now taking a look at the sunrise and sunset, here's a picture from Jules Anderson with the sun setting over Laguna Woods Golf Course. Beautiful picture. Thank you for sending that in. Sunrise was at 6:53 this morning and the sunset will be at 6:21 p.m. tonight. If you would like to have your photos highlighted here on This Day, please send them to us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Stay with us because up next after the break we have the GRF update, but first let's take a look at today's meetings.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 32 miles per gallon, a 260 horsepower turbocharged engine, advanced technology, and an extra-large touchscreen. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Irvine Subaru. Buy online, just come in to sign. Get 2 years complimentary maintenance included on all new Subarus.
Welcome to Harvard Eye Associates. We're focused on your eye care at all 3 of our Orange County locations.
Our new location in Laguna Hills, Orange, and San Clemente.
Each facility features the latest in advanced technology and diagnostic equipment.
And a trusted collection of doctors that care about your vision and your quality of life.
We deliver what matters to you
And your family.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
Hi, remember us?
We're back,
Christine and Jack from the Jewelry Box.
which is now the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers.
Relocated in a new spot in our old shopping center.
But we're still Orange County's preeminent buyer of gold, jewelry, watches, and flatware.
And we're still a full jewelry repair center. And with our 3 graduate gemologists, we're still here to appraise your special pieces.
And like always, at the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers,
It's about trust.
Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now with the Golden Rain Foundation update is Bunny Carpenter and Treasurer Jim Hopkins. Hello, guys. So nice to meet you. Thank you for coming in today.
Same here.
So tell me, how's your day going? Everything going well? How's your week?
Hey, it's beautiful, especially living here in sunny California with the weather.
Absolutely.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Beautiful, gorgeous day today. I was so happy to oh my gosh, it was sunny and not the clouds today. So definitely affects my, feelings of feeling good.
Yep.
So, Bunny, you're president. Tell me, what is fulfilling about this for you to be so involved?
I absolutely love this village. I can tell you, it's a very special place to live. Where can you go to have a resort style community at an affordable where everybody can afford to live? Okay, a safe environment. I've been to other communities throughout the United States, and there are very few communities that can compare to ours. So.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And Jim, tell me, what's your background?
Oh boy, I've worked with IBM for about 20 years, and after that, I owned my own businesses. Became CFO of a couple of smaller businesses, $150 million, and just kind of been a financial journeyman of sorts because I like the challenge, and whenever I resolve something or solve something, I want to move on. It's hurt me financially, but it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. So tell us, you know, we kind of saw the graphic a moment ago, but what are all the special things about living here in Laguna Woods Village?
I can tell you can't beat the location.
Yeah.
You know, we're 7 miles from the beach. We have medical facilities all around us. We have more amenities than we know what to do with. I mean, and a lot of people say, well, but I don't use the amenities. But I don't think they're really thinking when they say that, because the amenities also include the services that GRF provides. And those services are social services, transportation, you know, your resident services, all of these services that also include the amenities. So believe me, everybody uses something that we provide at some time.
Right, right. Yeah, you probably just might not realize it because you're like, oh, I'm not going to Clubhouse 3. But yeah, you're right. There are so many other services and resources as well that,
Right.
you know, are constantly available. Are there things that people say, have you heard, like the one or two top things that people say, well, this is why I chose to come here? Have
You know,
guys-
believe it or not, the least used is transportation.
Okay.
But everybody comes here because they say, when I don't drive anymore, I know I have a bus that I can get around. This is one of the reasons why GRF, you know, it's included in the dues. There's no cost to anybody, you know, as far as using that. But they also come here for the amenities. I can tell you, having a PAC center is very unusual for a 55 plus community to have. And the fantastic entertainment that we have here. There is something that you can do every night,
Yeah.
if you want to.
I mean, twice a day, morning or afternoon and night.
Right.
Yeah, that is so wonderful. And I saw on your slide there that Garth Brooks is going to be coming. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys really got Garth Brooks?
Okay. we get tributes.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a Garth Brooks tribute. But I can tell you these artists, you know, that come in for tributes are fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and just they bring the essence and bring in the music, and yeah, you hardly even miss that it's not the actual artist who created it because it's so good. Yeah, I've
Right.
noticed just a huge surrection with tribute bands. It's so fun to go to and see them. So let's see. What about some of the things that the Golden Rain Foundation manages and they maintains, like things you mentioned, like cable TV, social services, the PC and Mac learning centers. You know, these are all big things for educating and learning and moving with the times that you guys take care of.
So recreation, that's the biggest thing, okay? And then we have to maintain our clubhouses. But recreation, where can you go with so many pickleball courts, with so many, you know, the tennis courts? I mean, it's really unreal, you know, what we have here. And that's actually why that I wanted to be able to have Jim basically talk about our reserves.
Okay.
Because it is so important that we have financial stability in order to be able to maintain these amenities, which I have to say is the face of this community. People think about that. You know, it's not the houses that they come here for. They come here for the amenities and what we provide.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so what is the GRF trust responsibilities?
Okay, actually, Bunny's better able to talk
can-
about the trust responsibilities, but in general, to manage the assets of the Golden Rain Foundation, which 60 years ago were put into a trust, okay? And Golden Rain Foundation was given the responsibility and the opportunity to manage that trust. So all of the assets of GRF belong to the trust, most of the assets today.
Okay.
And so that obviously, in order to administer and take care of those assets, it takes some money, and to provide the services. And I think that's what Bunny was referring to, is that we have to have a reserve. We also have to have an operating budget in order to provide those services. So I think the first thing I really wanted to do was to go over our operating budget, just a summary, because most people want to know, well, how much are you charging me per month?
Yes.
All right? And is it going up, or is it staying the same? All of those kinds of good things. So rather than go through all the details of the numbers, I thought I'd switch right to the per manor per month, also known as the HOA fee.
Yes.
And so here's our budget summary.
Okay.
So if you take a look at the top line, our net expense, which is about $35 or $40 million, basically went up only $1.91 per manor per month. Okay, that's the operating side of it. However, and that's only less than 1%. However, when you look at the surplus recovery, if you may recall, we had reduced amenities, et cetera, during COVID. And so we've been returning those fees back to the residents over a period of time. As we analyze them and understand what they are and what they were, we return them. So in 2023, it was $10 that was returned. In 2024, it will be $5. Well, that actually represents an increase in your fee from year to year, because now we've reduced the surplus return. So what that makes us is basically this year, your GRF portion will go up $6.91 per manor per month, or 3%, all right? Which, when you look at the raw numbers, basically the operating side only went up primarily because of insurance, something that we really have no control over. At the same time, if you look at operating, VMS has done a superb job of managing especially the employee resources, where they've made some extraordinary moves to reduce I guess not the employee compensation, but the employee benefits package. While maintaining the benefits, they've actually been able to reduce some of the cost. So
wow.
It's been extraordinary, I think, that they've done this year.
Something I wanted to ask about the surplus is how many more years will that continue happening? Or
Well,
I assume that's going to end at a certain point?
Well, so far, 2024 looks like the end. But if we continue to do the job we're doing this year, we could end up with a surplus this year. But I can't guarantee that, because a lot of the expenses come at the end of the year. And so we kind of we have to look at it. That's why it's taken a little while to give it back.
Okay.
Now, if you look at what we've done over the last 3 years, and I think many people don't realize this, and many of the residents don't realize this, we've been asked this question. Over the last 3 years, counting 2024, we will have given back $23 per man per month, or $3.5 million. And again, that was because of the reduced availability of services and amenities during the COVID. So, we want to let everybody know that we're doing our job, and we have returned those funds to you.
And that's great to know that, hey, these services couldn't be run during that time. That was not an expected thing. And it probably happened so quickly that you couldn't make those changes right then and there when it was all happening. And so this was a way you figured that out to return that money. I mean, obviously very honest and trustworthy, and I'm sure it makes the residents feel good to know.
Well, that's a good point. I think some residents expected it right away. And of course, we don't get audited and the final numbers are not final until about April of each year. So it takes the next year to understand exactly what we have and what we can do with it. So we're tracking all of that. And so we make sure that the residents, us residents, get what's due to us.
That's the nice thing about having residents on the board, right?
Yes,
You're working
yes,
for
yes.
yourselves as well as the good of everyone. So wonderful. And then what is your next slide that you had that you wanted to go over?
Okay, well, what I'm looking at now is when Madam President mentioned the reserves, all right? And one of the things that comes out of the reserves is capital expenditures. Well, what does that mean? That means this expenditure either to replace, improve, or keep up to date our assets. We've got about $150 million worth of assets, and that's at cost. So replacement sometimes is actually considerably more than that, because obviously inflation is with us all, and it looks like it's going to be with us for a long time. So in order to replace these assets, all right, it takes a while. It takes some money, and it also takes a savings account. And that's what the reserve account is all about. It's essentially a savings account. As we save for the assets that we buy today, we may have to replace 7, 10, 15, even 30 years from now. And so when you start saving as soon as you purchase an asset. That's really what we do. That's why I call it a savings account. In financial terms, it's called the reserve account.
Okay.
Good.
That makes sense, yeah.
And every year, we allocate funds to spend out of it. In many cases, and the chart you have in front of you, in many cases, we don't know the exact amount because larger projects take a lot of time and effort to actually estimate. So what we do is we allocate or reserve some funds out of the reserve account to say, hey, look, this is the approximate amount we'll spend. It's not authorized yet because many of the larger projects require a lot of analysis before we know what the final number will be. Right? But with that said, spatialization, that's number one up there. All right? And that was reserved at or allocated at $7 million. Now, there's been a lot of misinformation out there on social media and other forums about that $7 million. That is not a commitment to spend that money. Okay, as I said before, it's an allocation. Now, when we start to look at, by the way, that's the result of us making a decision not to rebuild Building E. All right, now, I won't go through what Building E is, but the security people were in, the security department was in there along with a couple of other departments. So what we decided to do was, since the only estimate that we had, legitimate estimate, was about $7 million, we said, let's allocate that amount, knowing and being committed that we really didn't want to spend that amount of money. Right. But to do anything less would have been financially irresponsible. So it's just an allocation. It's just an allocation. And I'll just go through the next two, the clubhouse renovation, which is that's essentially the clubhouses, including Clubhouse 1, which is our first clubhouse, and is due for a major update. It's not really an update, it's just to maintain what's there. But when you have a building that old, you know, it's going to cost some money to keep it up to speed. And of course, vehicles, essentially every year we've got to replace vehicles. There's some 400 or so vehicles, and mobile equipment, not just vehicles, but mobile equipment is also included in that.
What do you mean by what's mobile equipment?
If you notice, we have some, there are lawnmowers, the big lawnmowers, they have to be replaced. There's also some major construction type equipment. I'm not sure where you clean not the clubhouses,
polish the floors,
polish
and
the
that
floors,
kind of thing?
all of those kinds of things need to be replaced, okay, over time because they run out. The other part of this is, as you know, there's mandates now to go electric. Mm-hmm. And so that has to be considered in all of this. And right now, electric, even though I don't think this includes maybe 1 or 2 electric vehicles, but right now, I mean, the mandate in 10 years is to become electric, at least in California.
Wow, yeah. So that was a big expense to replace all vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a task for GRF to maintain its assets. Again, it has the very large number of assets, like I said, $150 million at cost, which I don't think we realize on a day-to-day basis. That takes a lot to manage. And thanks to VMS and the board, we allow them the opportunity to do all the maintenance and things of that nature while giving them the funds to do it.
Yeah. And so some of the things on here that are listed at 0%, is that just because at this time they just don't need anything, like they're fine for the next year, or does it just mean that there hasn't been money yet allocated for those areas?
Well, these are what it says 0% on that chart. Basically, this is the sum of all of the activities. That's 100%. And as you can see, the spatialization was 49% of that activity, just because of the amount of it. And clubhouse renovation was 21%. 0 is just that they were so small, even though there have been allocated funds for it. They're just so small that it's
Okay, got it. So yeah, so 22,000 that has been allocated for fitness.
Yeah.
That's so small.
Yeah, that is small.
Very small. Man, I wish I had that money to allocate for my project.
Well, they're actually trying some experiments this year, and some of the equipment is going to be leased for a short while to understand, because there's a lot of technology changes, and so purchasing some of the type of fitness equipment, usually it's the health monitors and those kinds of things. So there's so many changes that we allowed the recreation department to do some leasing with 30-day cancellation, so that they can test out this equipment and see whether or not it's
worth it to put into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the other part of our reserve fund is our portfolio. And there's also been a lot of misinformation about our portfolio too. So again, on social media and lots of other places. But the bottom line is that through September 30th, okay, our portfolio is gained $805,000. And since October, when we really start to focus in on it, it's gained $1.2 million. If I look at it today, it's we've gained over $1.3 million on it. So it is quite extraordinary that as we changed our strategy during the course of the year, that we've been able to make this return on it.
That's wonderful. That's very good news.
And last but not least, we plan our savings fund or reserves on a 30-year basis. So I've just given you a snapshot here of what it looks like every 5 years, okay? And what that yellow means in condition, and I'll just cut to the chase, it means that we're in fairly good shape. It can be red, which means you're under 30%. And if it's red, then theoretically, the experts say you're in a little bit of trouble, because you don't have enough money in your savings account reserve in order to satisfy any sort of activity that come up that could drain your reserves. Okay. So we're in the neighborhood of between, depending on what we spend, in the neighborhood of between 35 and 65% throughout the 30 years. And so
that's like the range where you want to be?
That's the range we want to be, and that's the range that the experts, we had some experts come in and evaluate that last year, and that's the range we want to be in. So I think we've done, we've been a great job of managing the GRF finances as well as the reserve/savings account.
And so just out of curiosity, so right now it's at a 67% reserve, but in 5 years, in 2029, it'll be a 34%. And is that just because you're having to take these big amounts for building structures and that kind of thing?
Yes, contrary to the mutuals, we have episodes where there's say a 5-year period, there may be an extraordinary amount that comes up that you have to be prepared to spend. Okay, and usually the first 5 years, you're focusing in on it, so you have a better idea of what it's going to be. In the out years, it's a bunch of estimates based on inflation rates and a bunch of other things. But early on, we have a good idea, so it tends to go down. But then, for instance, as we look at the space utilization, most likely we won't spend the $7 million. Okay, so it will be 4 instead of 7. That will change the calculation. So that 35%, that 34% could go up to 40%.
Could then change.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you guys for being here today and explaining all this so everyone can understand. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us.
We'll see you again next time. So don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we have announcements and weather right here after the break.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
Dr. Farhumand and her associates at Brilliant Smile are excited to announce we now feature cone beam computed tomography. CBCT scans have many benefits over traditional x-rays. They are fast, safe, non-invasive, and provide better care to our patients. The 3D images provide an accurate view of teeth, bones, and soft tissue. It allows us to diagnose and treat more effectively. Also, it features modern diagnosing of sleep apnea by checking the airways and obstructions. Get started today. Call Brilliant Smile, Laguna Woods Village favorite dentist.
Hi, I'm Vince Ferragamo. I spent some of my best years as an NFL quarterback, but today I've got a new team, and we're helping seniors who spent their best years fighting for our country, defending our freedom, and informing the nation. Our hometown heroes need help. AgeWell Senior Services is their lifeline. Nonprofit AgeWell can do all of this because you care enough to give. Please join me in supporting AgeWell. Donate today.
Welcome back to This Day. Let's keep you informed with some events happening here in the village. Coming up on this weekend, on Saturday, October 14th, is the Harvest Hoedown. This free event is from 4 to 7 p.m. and will be held at the Equestrian Center. This fun event is for the whole family and includes a concert, food truck, games, and so much more. Come out and enjoy the autumn season. And now taking a look at the weather. It is beautiful sunny skies today. The clouds will return tonight though, and you might have some drizzle again in the morning tomorrow on Friday, but then it'll clear off and be partly sunny for the day. And going into the weekend, temperatures will bump up a little bit, be 80 Saturday, 84 Sunday. Should be a nice weekend. And also Saturday, there is going to be a solar eclipse in the morning. So if you have a chance, go out and check that out. Taking a look ahead, tomorrow on This Day, we have the California Club, the Democratic Club, and also Sports Corner with Cole Young. So great show for you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. For This Day, I'm Bobby Higgins. Have a great day, everyone.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.